Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Dear Radio. Thanks for joining us for another Storytime segment where we bring on special guests each week to speak about their own story. It's your beloved Dear Michael currently speaking on the mic. My great co-host, Dear Siege. Unfortunately, TKD2 and LeBranson could not make it tonight for prior arrangements and engagements that they had to be partaking in. But shout out to those guys. We'll make sure they're on the next one. We're going to keep ripping and running. But I want to introduce Siege. How you doing tonight, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good, man. Happy to be here. Can't wait to get into it.
Come on, man. We get it rocking every week, man. So, like I said earlier, story time is where we bring in guests to talk about their story. Tonight we have another spectacular guest with us. He's an artist himself. He's a videographer and a photographer. He graduated from Kennesaw State University with a bachelor's in media and entertainment, and has aspirations in building his own media production company. Give it up for our guy Emmanuel, aka Rambo.
Hello, what's good with y'all, man?
How you feeling, man? You doing all right?
Feeling? Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Just get into it every day, for real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. We appreciate you for taking the time and we welcome you to the show. So glad you can make it on. Now, before we go any further into the interview, we base our story time off a word of the week. This week's word is curiosity. So everyone think about that word during the show today, and at the end we'll wrap it up and summarize what that word means to us in our daily lives. So with that being said, Rambo, go ahead and introduce yourself, man. Let us know where you're from.
What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Rambo, from Atlanta, Georgia. Um, I've been in Atlanta since I was about 4 years old. I was originally born in San Diego, but um, my mama moved us over here, you know what I'm saying, because we had some family over here. So I've been in Atlanta ever since.
That's tough. That's tough. That's tough. Did you originally leave San Diego, like real young? Like what? How old?
Yeah, I was 4. I was 4.
Four. Okay. No, that's tough. That's tough. How you like Atlanta so far? I mean, I've been out here since about 2019. I mean, I love it. I'm originally from
Atlanta,
of course, too. For a talk. I love it out here, man.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
a special
Atlanta,
place to me.
real for me. Facts. I still got family out in Dago, and I visit there here and there. But every time I go there, it feels like it's a distant home. But when I touch back down in ATL, it just feels like home for real. You feel me? So I
Hmm.
love Atlanta. I feel like the only thing that we would be missing in order to be like the best city in the U.S. is like a beach. I think
I
it's,
knew you was gonna say that. I knew you was gonna say that. I was just gonna ask that question. I was like, "Oh, San Diego, Atlanta, you live in the beach?" And what you said it though.
But
That's the only thing we missing. But other than that, man, I ain't got no complaints. If I really wanted to go to the beach, it ain't the same thing, but I could go to like Savannah's or one of them islands off coast.
yep,
Oh yeah, like the lake joint.
Yeah,
yep.
Jekyll Island or
Okay,
whatever. So,
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
okay.
Uh, I've been reading a lot of stuff about you, man. I've been seeing a lot of your music stuff, a lot of your video stuff. I checked out your Instagram prior to us meeting. I want to say maybe sometime last week. Just checking out your page and just your grind, man. You've been doing
mhm.
a lot, and obviously we got introduced to a mutual party through Phil. So he's always been saying great things about you, man. He's a great guy for
Shout out Phil,
not only
man.
myself. Yeah, shout out Phil, man. He's a great guy, great mentor. So I mean, I just want to kind of go into your journey of music, like as like was it as you kind of mentioned it as an escape mechanism for you, right? So like from the pressures and traumas of upbringing, like can you, if you went through a lot of it, right? Like can you take us back to those moments when you first turned on like a beat in high school or middle school or something that really is memorable to you right now? Like what was going through your mind at that time when you first connected to like your first your first song that was like, oh man, this music made me feel this way. Like, can you take us to that moment? What artist was that?
Well, my goat forever and always has been Wayne. I'm a really
Mm.
big Wayne fan. He played a big role in like my punchlines and my swag in a way. What I'm saying? I really fuck with Wayne. But I will say that the moment when I really like started, what I'm saying, falling in love with making music or
Yeah.
making my song for the first time. It was like a typical like lunchroom vibe. Me and a couple other partners. Beating on the table. You know what I'm saying,
So,
freestyling type shit, and you know what I'm saying, it kind of evolved from that. That was back around like my freshman year, high school. I wasn't really like taking the music. I wasn't even really like thinking about music yet, if that making music yet. I was kind of just putting my words together because I more
yeah.
so was interested in spoken word at the time. Yeah, I was more so interested in spoken word, like just because I always love writing. I was told, and I know I got a gift for writing. So you know what I'm saying, I just started off with that. But one day, one of my it was I had reconnected with one of my homeboys that I had disconnected with in middle school. He moved away back to Indiana, and come to find out, he's like he ends up moving back, but I don't find out until I'm damn near a freshman in college. Like I moved to Kennesaw the summer before I start school, and
Okay.
I make a post, and we still have followed each other. When he was like, "Yo, no way you in Kennesaw," blah blah blah. I was like, "I thought you was still in Indiana." And now I'm in Kennesaw, and as you know, we link, right? So he had already had a love for music to where he had started making a few songs. Nothing like with serious production type shit, but it was just like, okay, I know I want to do this for real. So
Yeah.
really just hanging around him for real, and already just kind of having the love for music as itself, and then being able to write, it kind of just molded together. You know what I'm saying? It kind of just molded together. And we made a song one time, just like recording on our phones, sent a verse through like GarageBand. We edited it on the phone back when people was really doing that for real. And one thing led to another, and it just evolved. Evolved to just me, just that was like my main form of communication to the world. I'll say that because I always been an introverted person, like like kind of laid back. I was a class clown, but it was only when I was in the mood for real. Other than that, you catch me just sitting back, just being a sponge. You feel me? So yeah, that's pretty much how that happened.
Nah, that's tough. That's tough. Like how? Like can you describe like when you first connected to your song? Let's go like in college, right? Like when you first went through your trying to find your sound, and you got to a point where like, okay, this I think this could be my sound. Like when you first felt that experience, like what did it feel like to pour your emotions and connect all the dots that you've kind of built up through the years and have a track that you felt that you really connected to that sounds like sonically the way you want to sound? Like how did that feel your first time? I'm not saying you had to release it yet and got anything back, but like you just completed a song for you to
Yeah,
kind of gauge how was that?
like okay. Um, it felt like relief for real. Like I felt like I
Mm-hmm.
was like kind of um evolving more into like myself as an artist.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily like find my sound for real until
Okay.
like more so my recent projects that I dropped like after the pandemic. Back
Got
then
it.
I was more so like experimenting with sounds for real. I found out that I'm versatile with sounds, but I also found out that there's a sound that just works every time I go to it. You know what I'm saying? With other sounds and styles that I was trying back then,
Right.
it didn't necessarily work with the type of music that I genuinely wanted to make. So it was a sign of relief for real, but
Mm-hmm.
it showed me that like I still got to kind of experiment to get to where I need to be because it wasn't there yet. It was missing something. So
And at what point, like as you've been in your journey, like did you make the adjustment and make a decision like, okay, this could be something more than a hobby? Like when's that turning point in that path you were destined to be like, okay, no, this is something I can really pursue? What moment did you feel like, was it early college or was it recent? And then like in the last couple of years, like what moment did you feel
it
like,
was
nah, I can
recent.
really do this?
Well, yeah, it was like like I want to say mid college. Like
Okay.
I had like my first real like relationship like my freshman year of college to like my sophomore year. So
Yeah.
like that played a role on like the music that I made. And
Yeah.
after that breakup, it was like it was real powerful for me. And then I ended up losing my grandma like a couple not too long after that. So it
Hmm.
was just like I made I made the music that resonated most with me at that time, and
Yeah.
I just felt like this is me, this is my calling. And then the people that were hearing it, the responses that I was getting, it was like, yo, like you need to really like stick with this, stop playing around, and like take this music stuff serious. So I want to say, to give a more like exact time, I want to say around 2021. Around 2021
Yeah.
is when I really, really, really got it in my bag, and I was like, yeah, this music is what I want to do. That's when I dropped my God's Plan mixtape. So yeah,
Tough.
yeah.
Tough. That's crazy you said that because I do music as well.
So,
And uh, for me, when I started my journey, probably around it's probably around the same time, really like 2018, 2019, I really started experimenting, but it's the same issue. Like I had went through a breakup, and then like the pad was right there, beat was pulled up, and just trying to get to it, figure out how to get my thoughts together, and then just start recording. Uh, it's a real surreal feeling when you can kind of put things
pour it out
together.
for real.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful thing to be able to find that connection. Sometimes it's a painful thing to find it, but you can really dig deep, and if it's actually something you enjoy doing, like you say, it does feel like it's something that's chosen for you. So you find a certain thing. So and Caesar tell you like he on my neck about like, oh, drop this, drop this, drop this. So it's definitely a turning point for me, like around 2020, really 29 in the 2019. I was like, yeah, I can really take this serious, and I was really locking in. So I got a boatload of songs I'm about to start releasing here shortly. But moving into like a grandma thing, I really connected with that.
Check them out for sure.
Huh?
Nah, I said I gotta check out the music for sure.
Oh no, yeah, we're definitely
Yeah.
connect. Uh, but what I was about to say was moving into like the grandma thing a little more deeper. I had just lost my grandma November last year, so like I really connected to that point when you had said that you lost yours, and rest her soul. I know how challenging that can be, man. You know, definitely a pivotal person in your life. That could be anything. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously, I'm not sure how everybody's connected to their grandparents,
Yep.
but I never knew my granddads on both sides of my family. So just be able to have one grandma that I connected with, and able to grow up with her, like she's really pivotal for me, and be able to lose her. Obviously, she's in a better place now, but that's definitely a shock to the fam. So I kind of like want to get
Yeah.
uh,
Facts.
how you've navigated through that. Like what experiences has she taught you? Like how have you overcome adversity through that, and all the other trauma you experienced. I see you also put down on your questionnaire form that you had got robbed at gunpoint at one time. Like these traumatic experiences that people see in movies, right? That you actually it's not an imitation. Like this is really something you've experienced, and that you can really cultivate and shape it for the betterment of yourself because you made it through that. Like talk about those things of how you persevered and got better, and now you can kind of speak on those traumatic times, but now you know you're a better person, and navigate hopefully in a better light, and hopefully put yourself in a better situation where your mindset is a little bit like, okay, every day is like this, every day ain't promised, but I know I want to stay focused on this because this is what's pulling me out. So like, how do you stay focused on that? How do you stay passionate in what you're trying to do, and like what influenced you through the music and the action and the acting and all the things you want to do that allows you to keep going? Is it like let us know like how that journey is right now? Because I know that's tough for not just you, but
Yeah.
all of my audience is probably listening to that. There could be somebody else listening to that, and they probably going through that right now, or they just went through it last week or something like that, and they ain't telling nobody. So like, what is that like for you?
Yeah. Facts. Well, first of all, losing my grandma, that she was she was really like that guardian angel for me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I didn't see her too much in my adulthood just because she drove like Greyhound trucks, so she was all over the country, and then I'm off at school, and I didn't really have a car at the time, so it was, but my family was able to see him because they wasn't as busy as I was. So for me, when I heard her pass, I didn't get a chance to really like catch up with her as a recent. I had the last time I had
Mm.
seen her was like damn near a year ago, just because school got hectic, her
Yeah.
life got hectic. I had found out she was sick earlier that year, but I didn't realize how serious it was. You know what I'm saying? So um, it really showed me like how short life could be. It
Yeah.
showed me that like at any time, because she was real young, like she died of cancer, and she wasn't even her mid to late 60s. Like she was still real young, like not even a senior citizen yet. You feel me? So like
Yeah.
it just goes to show, like, you know what I'm saying, like how short life is for real. And then the getting robbed at gunpoint, same. Is just I was saying back then I was, you know what I'm saying, in the industries not making the best decisions, just trying to survive, get my money right, and trying to float, you know what I'm saying, trying to get through school and whatnot. So I was
Right.
kind of eager to make money any way I could, and I got caught slipping, and you know what I'm saying, it taught me to really watch you trust too. It really taught me, like, keep your head on the swivel, because it's crazy out here nowadays. It is like,
Mm-hmm.
y'all, we see it on social media, we see it on the news. You know what I'm saying? Every day, every second, every hour, is something crazy going on, and it's right in here in the city we at. Like
Exactly.
wherever city, wherever
Facts.
city you at, it's just the world's
Facts.
just crazy right now. So you know what I'm saying? It just really just taught me to really keep my head on the swivel, watch who I trust, watch who I keep in my surroundings. Everybody that, you know what I'm saying, that may say they your friend or act like your friend might not be your friend. You feel me? So
Yep.
it just taught me a lot. And I cope with it really just, I got a good support system as far as like my immediate family goes. You know what I'm saying? My mom, my step pops, and then my mom got 5 boys, including me, and one girl. So it's 6 of us.
Mm.
So like just wanting to give them, you know what I'm saying, give them, something, because we didn't grow up the way we would all had liked to. It just keeps pushing me to, you know what I'm saying, just keep going, keep going, keep going. And you know what I'm saying, it's like a fire that lit inside of me. Like when she died, that was just a big, big turning point in my life for a lot. Like the music, personal
Yeah.
decisions, um, how my diet, my daily routine, because all of it, at the end of the day, it caught up to her, and she didn't necessarily realize, that, some of the things that she did in the past, had played a role, in the long run. So it just kind of taught me to just, you know what I'm saying, really, really get on my grind as far as my health too. So to this day, I'm not. I don't think anybody ever 100% be healed from something like that.
Right.
But I know that she's in a better place. You know what I'm saying, as you mentioned, and I know that I could still make her proud. You know what I'm saying? I know she watching down, and I know that, I got a lot to accomplish. She always believed in me. I never heard her say nothing, what I'm saying, bad about nobody, regardless of, what other people may say. So, you know what I'm saying? That was my grandma Kim. So, you know what I'm saying? I keep it pushing, and I know that, at the end of the day, things gonna continue to rock out, because, you know what I'm saying, I got her watching over me, and I got a good support system, and I just want it too bad. Like I want it too bad. So.
No, I mean, that's real. I appreciate you, taking the time to share that, man. It's just like I said, there's people out there that may be listening or may listen in the future and really connect with that because, they might have just lost somebody. And, it's tough. It's tough to,
Yeah,
especially in our community, right? They try to
it's
glamorize it,
tough.
not glamorize it, but they try to make it seem like we don't get opportunity as men, right? Black African American men to really share our
Yeah,
traumas and what we feel and how we believe and what we think about. So just be able to provide a space that allows us to have these conversations, just to show people that it's worth it, it's important. Every day is another day to try to
yeah,
get better. And we're not trying to be perfect. We're just trying to be better, man. So just keep our mind right, connect with
yep,
people that's on my same way and live, and continue to grow as people. I think it's important to have these conversations, just to, like you say, navigate your way through. Sometimes you can't talk to just your friends about certain things. They might be in certain mind states in their life, or they may not want to hear it. What I'm saying, depending on who you got
yeah,
around you. Sometimes you can talk to somebody
yeah.
that's brand new,
Facts.
and they click you the first time. What I'm saying, so it's kind of like however you wherever you are in your journey, just be open minded to something that's new, an opportunity that could be a benefit to you. I just want to kind of share that with the audience, man. Again, I appreciate you taking the time
Yep.
to say that. it's important, and obviously you got over the hill with that, and hopefully in a better situation now. So I want to kind of shift gears to back to the music. Like, what do you think about as you've been doing music and now you more so like locked in with it? Like, what do you think about the business side of music right now? I know people kind of get misconstrued on how things are, whether they're independent or they're trying to get signed. Like that journey of it in itself is just is very challenging. But like, what do you think, or how do you feel within your journey of how you've kind of seen the landscape of the music industry today?
I used to think it was like real cut and dry, and to an extent, it is in some cases. It's just you just kind of got to get lucky or post the right video at the right time and
Yeah,
let the algorithm take off. Like I used to think like it was just I got to drop this hit song and I'm gonna go viral and I'm going to tour and all this and that. But as I what I'm saying, really just started looking back and studying it and going to school, I was like, yeah, it's really a business. Like you're as an artist, you're an investment. And
yeah,
ultimately people want a return on that investment. You feel me? So whether you sign to independent, whoever's spending money on you, they want to be satisfied in return with your music. You know what I'm saying? So um I I'll say like music right now for me it's kind of dang, my bad. Music for me right now is the music business. I think it is growing. I think it's on a good path. I think the things are changing though, as far as like obviously streams aren't necessarily paying for real. So
mm,
a lot of artists might have to rely on stuff like ticket sales or merch or their content, um, which I'll deal. I can deal with. Sorry, my bad. I don't know. My phone keep going off. But I could deal with it for real. But it is causing like me to really kind of adjust my game plan and the way I approach certain situations in the music. So yeah, yeah,
no, I mean that makes like super sense. Like uh, from the outside looking in, with people that don't understand like the business, it's just all fun and games. It's entertainment. I mean, it's really an escape mechanism for anybody that's not doing music, right? Like they go discover their favorite artist or up and coming artist, and they get lost in the discovery phase of what it looks like, it sounds like, and they want to support the artist as best they can. They think just one song, listen every day, or try to buy one merch sale. It is important, but they think like, oh, I bought this, I did my piece, they should be out of here by now. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it doesn't necessarily correlate that way. There's a big marketing budget behind some of these artists, majority of these artists that sign, and then obviously the independent. It's a longer journey to be able to cultivate, the right fans that love and enjoy what you're trying to create, to be able to take yourself to the next level, and then obviously grow with the fans to get back to them. Because most importantly, they're the most important aspect of it, right? You're not a household name without people loving and enjoying and growing with what you're trying to accomplish. So, I mean, I think you hit it right on the head. I think it makes sense.
yeah.
Um, and I kind of want to touch on that. I
And I've
know.
been talking.
Go ahead.
Oh my bad.
No, go ahead.
No. I was just kind of talking with like certain strategies with like my manager and whatnot. So
Yeah.
we really just been trying to adapt to like everything that's changed in the industry. Because like with the distribution platforms and everything, they got even out. What I'm saying? So they allow you to uh, connect with your fans in a different way and be
Yep.
able to keep a lot more of your earnings than so if you were got released through DistroKid or any other like distribution platform. So yeah, it's changing for real. But I feel like it's changing for the better. I feel like
I agree.
it's bringing it's bringing more for the artists. I think it's bringing more for the artists.
I agree. I definitely agree on that. And moving into that, like obviously, there's so many different aspects in the arts itself in general, right? Where you got the music, which you're partaking in, and then obviously the visual component of that, right? And I see that you do video photography. So like, how did that all come together? When you were doing music, did you shoot your own videos and then you started shooting other people's videos, or you just shooting your own stuff? Like, how was that line drawn for you to
Yeah,
be like, okay, I want to start doing
that's
photos, videos?
it really just come from being a creative broke college student. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Just not really having nobody. I couldn't afford for nobody to really shoot my videos.
Yeah.
But we had these simple but crazy ideas. So we would just pick up the camera and just go at it. So it really just I always had a love for film and acting, so
Mhm.
that I always knew that like I wanted to get a camera one day. And once I finally got a camera to shoot my own videos, it just kind of evolved from that. I just started learning more about the camera, different lenses, different settings,
Yeah.
and I would just, you know what I'm saying, it would just evolve from that. It went from people shooting my videos to me shooting their videos, and people
Mhm.
being like, "Hey, can you shoot my video?" Because they liked the video I shot for him, and then it was just like, you know what I'm saying, kind of like a domino effect type of thing. But um, they both coincide pretty well because I can be on camera just as well as I can be off camera, I think.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah.
Nah, that's tough. Do you
So
find like go ahead, Chris. So
and so as an artist, man, when you're doing music videos, I'm guessing you trying to direct that and shoot that yourself. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'll get like one of my partners or one of my brothers to hold the video. I mean, hold the camera, and I kind of just direct from there. Um, I will say though that like as I'm like trying to get my music to the next level, I'm trying to increase my production. Like, well, not
Hmm.
increase the production, like improve the production. So I'm more so about to start like trying to build a crew, but really for now, in the past, for the run and gun type videos, it'll probably just be like me, one of my brothers, and one of my partners, or it'll just be one other person, and I'll just direct from there. You know what I'm saying? Nothing crazy. I'm not directing no movie. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of just like, camera movements,
Yeah,
angles, you know what I'm saying? If I want you to follow me for a certain, you know what I'm saying? Something
yeah.
like that. But yeah, that's pretty much how that goes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
it's tough. It's tough. And you got your degree in media and entertainment. Like how has studying some of that stuff like in the technical side, how's that kind of helped your approach, if at all, right? I'm sure
Mm.
there's classes that kind of have you studying more in depth in some of these things with different
Yeah.
terminology. So like, did you see any improvement like once you went through some of those courses and classes?
Yeah, I had a class. Well, a lot of I ain't gonna lie. I mean, college, like half of the classes that you take is like gen ed
For
and really
sure.
don't even like, you know what I'm saying, don't even go towards your degree. But the
For
ones that
sure.
I did take, not all of them really helped. But it was a few. Like I took one on like camera angles and movements. That
Mm,
helped me kind of like make engage. And I already knew about like rule of thirds and like stuff like that just from like my own research. But it kind of showed me more about like as far as how zooming might affect how different angles. I learned about the tracking shot in that class. We would kind of just like dissect movies, angles and stuff like that, and kind of just break it down. So that taught me a lot about composition too,
yeah.
things like that. So that ultimately played a role in like how some of my videos are shot. If you see if you check out like my Tyler Lockett video, I shot it at the abandoned stadium in Atlanta. And like I wanted to make sure I showed like that whole as much of the background as I could. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's an example of kind of just like how composition kind of really played a role in my like videos. Because if I would have did that back in the day when I wasn't taking it serious, I probably would have just had something real basic, nothing real eye catching. But having that schooling, it definitely helped. You know what I'm saying, with the like the practicalities and stuff like that.
That's crazy, bro. Like to really sit here and think about like everything that goes into it and how figuring out how to keep the balance with like dual roles. Like, do you
Yeah.
find that like your visual work
Yeah.
influences your music more, or does the music help influence the creative direction you're about to shoot? Like, what do you think enhances more, or is it you think it's 50-50? You think it's just the same?
maybe more like 75-25. I say the
Mm.
music more so influences the visuals because it's like once I once I see the words or hear the words, it kind of creates the imagery for what I want to see and what I want like the audience to see.
Yep.
So, um, more so the music influences the video, I should say. But there are times where the video influences the music. I just can't really think of none off the top of my head, but I know it's happened before.
No, I mean that's tough. Um, and like I read where you say you want to create like your own media production company. Like, can you walk me through the idea of that? Like, you don't have to go
Mhm.
so far in depth. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm sure you're still planning in preparation and what you want to build, but like a general idea of like what does that
Right, right. Yeah,
look to you? What does
it's
that mean
still in
for
like
you? Yeah, you're still in the early
it's
stages,
still
right?
in kind of like the planning phase.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, early stages for sure, for sure. But what I do know is that I'm about to get a new camera soon because
yeah.
I had some issue when I was in Houston to where I had got my camera stolen. So it's been like a halt on the
Hmm.
whole like media production all summer, which is why I kind of had to take it back to the beginning stages.
Yeah,
But I'm more so trying to build a media production company because of film. Like I know that film is ultimately like how I want to tell my stories visually.
yep,
So the media production company is kind of me just establishing the groundwork to eventually have a crew and be able to do that. Short films is what I'm starting at the end of this year. I got a few ideas for when it starts getting a little cold that I want
yeah,
to try to get some people together and try to put into production for like the first project. But yeah, right now, it's in the planning stages, and we gonna get it rolling though for sure, and start producing some movies, some short films first. You know what I'm saying, and then ultimately some feature films, and maybe even some TV shows. But we're gonna start off with the films for sure.
that's tough. That's tough. I mean, it's really important to have that dream. You know what I'm saying? So like, you can actually have a vision and a planet block stage of how to go from A to Z. So like, it doesn't really matter like what stage you're in, as long as you dedicated to that, and obviously your vision speaks for itself, and the people around you really want to
Yeah,
see you accomplish it, and they want to help,
facts.
build that with you if they really believe in you the way that you believe in yourself, right? So it's like, I always love hearing those journeys of stories, like where are we taking this? Like, what are we doing this for real? And it seems like you got a plan of action. Like, now, outside of me, I get to turn around and put people on that really had the same type of vision that I got, that really want to do the things I want to do, and we can really put back for the city,
Yeah, 'cause
especially
my
right now,
whole
Atlanta.
family, man, we
Come on, man, like
yeah, facts. My
Atlanta
whole
is,
family, man, it's just like I said, my immediate family.
yep,
They my support system, and they all got their own talents to where I could see them working. Being a part of the employees of the company. So
mm,
ultimately, I want it to be like real close knit. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And I think it's definitely gonna get to where it needs to be someday soon.
Nah, that's beautiful. I mean, you definitely in the right city for it, right? It's a lot of that's definitely a growing scene of production out here in Atlanta.
Facts.
So, uh, man, like most love and support to what you got going on. I definitely know you, as long as you stay focused, you'll get there. So, um, your story, man, is super
Yes, sir.
unique.
Appreciate that.
It's definitely one of resilience and determination. From freestyling with your friends, right? You talked briefly about that, to now like creating discography and different videos. Like, what do you hope like the listeners, new listeners that already been listening and still listen, um, like, what do you hope when you're making music? Like, what do you want them to feel when they listen to your music? Like, what do you want them to hear and cultivate? Like, how do you want your art to be impacting their lives?
I just want them to be able to feel the emotion that I felt when I made the song. I want them to be able to really, really resonate and feel my pain or my joy,
Mm,
feel my swag, feel my confidence, whatever the mood of the song is. I want them to be able to feel like they was in the studio with me for real.
okay.
Like I just want them to be zoned in and understand that like the ultimate message in my music is just to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, the resilience, the persistence, the determination. No matter where you come from, no matter, the circumstances, you can always, lock in, limit distractions. And if you want it bad enough, you can get to where you need to be in due time. So you can really be anything you want to be in this world. So, so I
Right.
just want them to understand that's how we rocking. And that's how we always gonna rock. So yeah.
No, that's tough. Um, I mean, I think it's really important that you actually put your message out like that. I think you really hitting the head. It's interesting because I think a lot of people nowadays, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? Like obviously, music's been around 50 plus years now. At the 50th anniversary as far as hip hop goes,
Mm-hmm.
but uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's hit and miss, right? Like there's people that's really solely artist driven. Like I want to make something that's never been made before. I want to be able to stand out that like and make my own lane that nobody has ever seen, and then they can emulate. And then there's the another side that's like I see a quick cash grab, which ain't nothing wrong with that, right? So it's like the fact that you're like,
Yeah.
nah,
Yeah.
I really went
Facts.
through some things. I really got something to say, and I really got something I really want to prove to myself, and
Yeah.
I'm going to take the time to develop something that's meaningful to me instead of just seeing the money, getting the money, and then be able to get up out of there. Which it's different depending on where you at in your journey, but the fact that we still got people out there like yourself that's like, nah, there's something I need to do, there's something I need to say, something I need to fulfill. It's like super refreshing to me to be able to
Yeah.
like, okay, now I really want to check out his music because like I know he really got a deeper pocket in this, more than just the money. Because the money gonna come, right? If you just be great, you just be yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that there's
Yeah.
more people
Facts.
to continue doing that.
It's gonna come. Facts.
But I want to go into like a broader question that's going to really make you think right now. And you can take your time with this. Just kind of want to have fun with this idea. Like, so if you
Okay.
were to create a visual piece, whether a music video, short film, or documentary that really like signifies your life right now and your journey so far, like what would that look like? Like, what story would you want to tell? What emotions would you want to be invoked into your audience? Like, can you describe what that would look like if you were to do something like that in this moment?
Mm, probably like a probably like a maybe like a black and white documentary, but
Mm,
like at certain, not black and white all the way through though. Like at sometimes it's a little faded. Like you can see the colors a little bit, but like majority of the time it's like black and white. I say that.
okay.
I don't know if I would necessarily start it like in the middle of my life and kind of backtrack and fast forward or what, but I would probably think like a black and white documentary that like kind of starts from that shows where I'm at now and it kind of just backtracks to how I got there. I would say that.
Mm,
I think that because black and white really always stood out to me, and I
yeah.
think that it kind of will help exude like the emotions of like just growing up, what I'm saying, typical low income black household, what I'm saying, one parent working, what I'm saying, big family. So like it wasn't always, uh bad hard times. We always there's ups and downs to it. Which is why I
Right.
mentioned like some parts will be like slightly faded, will have a little color to it. And then I would say like the highlights of my life, like graduating high school, graduating college, what I'm saying,
Mm,
maybe having like when I had a couple release parties back, that'll be like a full vibrant type color. So it would probably be a documentary for sure. Cause I'm just a big fan of documentaries and it would be, yeah, that's how it would go. Off the top of
that's
my head, that's
no,
how I can see
that's pretty. I mean, that's
it.
pretty tough. I mean, really, no wrong answers with that right now, right? Like I said, it's off the top of your head trying to figure out what that looks like
Yeah, yeah,
without
yeah, yeah,
planning. So, I mean, I think that'd be a dope concept to kind of
yeah,
grab and see what that looks like. Obviously, just trying to think how that plays out, like fading in black and white and then color from scenes that's like highlighting the big moments, almost like you obviously documentary yourself is like a biopic of yourself. You playing you, and that'd be real dope to be able to see how that looks. And that might be something you want to write down and put down in the future. So I
yeah,
mean, I think that's pretty dope. Um,
yeah. Facts. Now I just like kind of like unorthodox type visual stuff that make you be
yeah,
like, why did he do that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it'll definitely, I think it'll definitely grab some attention too.
now that you mentioned like documentary styles of content is kind of like your favorite. Like what documentary have you seen of late or recently that kind of stood out to you, or do you have a favorite documentary that you've seen?
Um, my favorite documentary. I don't really have a favorite one. I'll say because I really like a lot of them. I can't even think of the
Yeah,
names off the top of my head. There's been so many. But I will say like the one I watched most recently that resonates with me is like the OJ Simpson documentary. I just thought that was pretty interesting. And yeah, I just like the way documentaries are just really like are set up. You know, it's like you get to have a one on one conversation with multiple people while you get to kind of see the story take place via B
right.
roll. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's kind of cool. It's cool to me the concept. It's like a two birds, one stone type thing. So
That's a fact. That's a fact. Especially if you really connect with them joints. Maybe I don't like you said some real interesting ones out there that really like that like damn, I've heard about the story, but I didn't even know it's like that in depth until you start digging more into the story and like, okay,
yeah,
this is what, really happened and you go through another rabbit hole of looking up information online and really getting connected with the story. So I think, if you do a
facts.
documentary
Now I'm on
well,
YouTube.
you feel me? Like if you can do a documentary well, you can really dive into
Yeah,
that and just see different people's stories. And I think that's always dope to be able to watch those and then get enlightened into people's stories. So yeah, I'm right there with you, man. Documentary is definitely a good think piece, a good history point in history, depending on who they highlighted. But as we wrap up, and I just kind of want to ask you this question: um, if you could go back and give your advice to your 14-year-old self, like who started with poetry, like what would you tell him now, like after all you've experienced so far?
um, I'll tell them to keep going. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell them to keep the circle tight, even tighter than you had it at the time.
Mm,
I would say, understand that you're gonna take L's. Understand that that doesn't necessarily mean that, you know what I'm saying, life is over or, you know what I'm saying, that things won't improve. It's just you gotta kind of take a step back, adjust, and get back to it. I had a hard time, you know, dealing with that back then. But as I get older, I realized I kind of laugh at certain situations. You feel me?
yeah.
So I would tell them to just keep going. You know what I'm saying? Keep the circle tight. You know what I'm saying? Take them L's on the chin. You know what I'm saying? Watch who you trust and just keep being true to yourself. You feel me? Keep making that music. Well, at the time it was poetry, but you know what I'm saying? Keep writing. You know what I'm saying? Keep getting your feelings out because one day they're going to be able to feel it and really, really resonate with it.
No, that's 100%. That's real, and I appreciate you for taking time to share that. Uh, it's super enjoyable
Yes,
to
sir.
see where people are at in life, and when you ask those type of questions, they really get to be like, oh man, if I would have did this, if I would have did that, I should have did this, and now you kind of just sit there like, nah, I accept the things that I went through, things that are now make me who I am.
Yeah.
And about like you said, go back and tell your 14-year-old self, it's like, nah, man, just keep going. I think you're on the right path, and it's cool that
Yeah.
you kind of have that self
Yeah.
reflection
Facts.
and you're self aware with what you are and who you are on your journey. So it's always super enjoyable to see the evolution of people. And I'm glad you was able to share that. And as you grow and continue, you'll be 35. Saying one day and be like, dang, 26, 25. I would have did this or did that, and this is all like evolution. So people should take that stuff with a grain of salt and just continue to
Yeah.
serve yourself in each moment, man, each day, and love who you can become in those moments. So uh, thank you again for that, man. And as we said earlier in the show, this week's word of the week is curiosity. So I want to take the time and go around and ask what curiosity means to everybody, and like what does it mean to be curious in the moments we're in right now, and how has that word allowed you to kind of cultivate where you're at right now. So, Rainbow, I want to kind of start with you. Like, how's curiosity paved the way for you to continue to experiment with things, see different
Hmm.
paths for yourself? Like, what's it mean to be curious to you right now?
To be curious for me, it means just being eager to learn,
Mm,
being eager to experience more, being eager to be able to adapt But I think that recently curiosity has played a role for me in just wanting, like I said, wanting to learn and wanting to just be able to keep growing every day, keep getting better.
Yeah.
Is every day is just for me, it's like a rat race in my brain on like what can I do to make me better? What can I do to learn something? What can I do to put me in a better position than I was yesterday? It's all about, you know what I'm saying, growth and progression for me. So being curious keeps me on my toes. It keeps me, you know what I'm saying, really, really sharp, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and keeps my head on a swivel, keeps me wanting more, wanting to, and ultimately it just fuels my creativity because as I learn new things, experience new things, it it resonates to words and in my head and images, and it just comes out on paper
Yeah.
or the mic. You feel me? So it ultimately curiosity is that's what it means to me. So
No, I appreciate that. See, you got anything to add to that?
I mean, not really, man. Like you said, like that curiosity of just wanting to know something, like seeing something and being like, "Dang, I wonder what's that made from," and just that and the third, like being curious about things and like seeing something on TV, like, "Dang, how did they get this shot?" Or like when I watch movies, for example, to see a videographer, watch movies, I'd be like, "Man, how do they like get it so close to where they turning it around to where it look like he's killing the dude and this, that, and the third." Like I be trying to wonder all of that stuff. Like when I see the background of it, I see the behind the scenes like on TikTok or I see like a YouTube or that, I be like, dang, what? Like that Bad Boys thing when Will Smith was doing the gun and he was flipping the camera back and forth. I was like, damn, damn, so that's how they do it. I was like, bro, that's crazy. I said, well, and then it goes with your experience too. So it's like that's some things like just like you, like I said when you was directing your own music video, like that's basically like him directing his own movie in a sense where he flipping the camera with the gun. And I'm like, damn, I'd be curious about that stuff. Like, damn, how does that go on? How do you even get to that point? This would be crazy. Man, that's my thing on curiosity. Just always wanting to know something.
Yeah. Yeah. You hit your head. No, that joint's funny, man. Like speaking of that, it's like a curious moment. It's like when I went to go see you. You know what I'm saying? You out there making your plays, doing the one hand catch. I'm like, hey, you know what I'm saying? He ain't played. I'm like, he ain't played football in high school, right? I'm thinking like, he out there going crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, Paolo, I don't know that, man. You know, we always talk about LeBron and TK, not talking about the football, but I was impressed, man. Something like, damn, how he out there doing that? So it's always it's funny to look at that, just look at my boys going crazy and the things they love doing. So that's always super fun and just being curious about everything they do, man. I think that's it's gonna be part of the reason why we're continuing to do this show. I think is me being super curious about every host that's on this podcast with us. Like every week, we do meetings and stuff like that. And we kind of just brainstorm how we get better. And I'm super curious of where they're in life. Where do they want in life? Am I helping them enough? To continue to help them get to the next joint venture in their life. Like, and if I can do that, I know it's always a full circle moment. And I think that's what makes us navigate to where we're at now, and then being able to have the ideas to bring on guests like yourself and just see where you are in your journey and how we can help you and just be able to connect the dots. And I think that's all curiosity in the way that I'm using it. And obviously, it's a bigger macro level of curiosity as well. But I think right now, in a micro level, just seeing how we can really just become better, as you said, and continue to just learn from each other and be curious of the possibilities of can we invent something new? Can we talk about something new? Can we help people with more words in a week? Can we educate people in different ways? Can we just fine tune the things that we've already been doing and make it better? Like it's just being meticulous. We had a word a week last week or a couple episodes, depending on how this gets scheduled out. But we had a guest on. We used the word meticulous, and just kind of the same thing, being really meticulous of the details that we really want to see and do. So I think being curious is the joy of creativity, right? I think if you're not curious with that aspect, I don't see anybody creating anything new. I think it's going to be a whole bunch of um, copycats of everything else. So I think curiosity is definitely something you should dive into, experience, learn, and just figure out through the phases of your life what it's like. So that's kind of the word that we wanted to throw out there for this week. Definitely hope everybody learns something from that. Obviously, apply to your life and to become better, man. So, again, Rambo, man, thanks for joining the show. We're definitely honored to continue watching you, man, continue to grow with you and be a part of your success, man. So, at the last part, we just want to take the time to get you the opportunity to shout out your socials so people can continue to follow you and support you and watch the journey. So, if you don't mind, where can everybody contact you and find you on social media?
Y'all can follow me on Instagram at official.rambo21. I'm not too active on anything else for real, but Instagram is where TikTok too. It should be the same, but
Okay.
I'm not really too active on anything else other than like Instagram and TikTok as far as the music, and then YouTube too. You can follow me at the official Rambo. So yeah, man, I appreciate the opportunity. I got a new single dropping in a few weeks. I don't know the date yet, but follow me on Instagram and I'll be dropping the date real soon. And yeah, we're gonna keep it rolling, man. Keep it rolling.
I appreciate that. Siege, man, where can everybody follow you at, brother?
It's your boy, man, Dead Seeds, man. I'm at Dead Seeds on everything. I'm IG to Twitter to TikTok to that's it, man. I can't do Facebook. My mama on there, so I can't be on there when she on there because she be doing the most. So everything Dead Seeds except Facebook, I don't even be on there, so don't even worry about that. But it's your boy, man. Oh, and follow my boys' gaming pages, Dilla Branston Gaming and Deal TKD2 Gaming. Follow them two gaming pages for my boy, man. Since they out, they can't shout it out for themselves.
Yes, sir. Shout out to our
Yeah,
guys,
follow
man.
my gaming page too at Clips by Bo.
Oh, no. What games you playing?
Be on the Madden, boy, heavy. I'll be playing the CFB2 and then the Warzone, but really the Madden is like where I go crazy. I got a few games I'm finna play soon, but in the franchise league. But yeah,
Okay.
y'all,
For
What
sure.
about you on PS5? What you on?
I'm on PS5.
Ah, be on the box, man. Get on the box.
I'm a Sony kid, man. I grew up with PlayStation from
Ain't nothing
like
wrong
as
with
a
that,
kid.
yeah.
So it's hard to take me away. I ain't got nothing against Xbox, but it's just something about PlayStation. That was like the first game system I got for
Mm-hmm.
Christmas. So like, you feel me?
Yeah, I understand. I understand.
Yeah, man, you can follow me at Dear Michael's, my fashion page, DearMykel. Latest updates on that's coming soon. Before our show is Dear Radio Show, so make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at Dear Radio Show. We're starting to produce more visual content, so you start seeing a lot more videos being produced by us. Obviously, a lot more behind the scenes stuff coming up soon later in the year, and obviously these interviews are going to get pushed out with more guests, more and more word of the weeks. So we're super excited about obviously the journey of that. And just make sure you stay dialed in with everything we got, man, for our latest updates. I just want to give out our voicemail number because we do have one. It's 859-363-5365. There's a long dial tone, but as soon as you get through that, you're able to leave a voicemail about, if there's a word of the week that resonated with you that you really want to talk about. If there's a word you have in mind that you would like us to talk about that we haven't already covered, let us know. If there's a favorite guest you had that you wanted to kind of just highlight with them, let us know, man. Anything that obviously you're curious about, right? Just let us know and leave us a voice message. If you want to get on the show, man, let us know as well. So again, it's 859-363-5365. And man, thank you for staying tuned and listening to this episode with us, and hopefully everybody had a great week. And we'll see you same time next week. Thank you. Peace.